So here we go. This is going to be my progression guide for GameZ BDO. This guide will be split into 3 parts, with each part covering each stage of progression. If you need any validity to my strategy, I have managed to get all pinned weapons and a pair of boss gloves in 2 weeks. I still have over 1 billion silver ready to go for more. I've also reached level 64 twice in the same time frame. That should be more than enough credibility for this video series, but that doesn't mean that this guide is the end all be all. It's just what I consider to be the best way to progress on this server. Take what I say and do what you think is right for you, or you can follow it to a T. It's really up to you. So before we begin, we're going to talk about classes. I get a lot of questions about which classes I would recommend and things like that. I would have to say that almost all classes on this server are worthy of playing. Ninja, Kuno, Striker, Warrior, Mystic, Wizard, DK, Tamer, Ranger, Zerker, and even Valks are all good enough on this server to take on anyone from what I understand. The only classes that seem to have issues at the moment are Witch and Meiwa, so I would recommend against playing those at this time, though they are subject to be fixed in the near future, same as many of these other classes recently like Tamer. Remember, it's also extremely easy to re-roll on this server. The GameZ website webshop has EXP and skill EXP transfer coupons, as well as weapon transfer coupons that you can use at any time. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go over some quick tips that are unique to this server. For starters, if you type .rescue, you will be teleported from anywhere in the map, even the desert, directly to Olvia. This is great for getting around quickly if some bosses spawn. Also, if you use escape anywhere past this line on the map, you will go to Alta Nova. Another tip, if you want to change channels but don't want to get the cooldown, you can go to the character select first and then change channels. I'm not sure if this is a bug or intended, so it may be subject to change, but use it while you can. Now the big tips, no homo. For every 30 minutes you are online, you will get free pearls sent to your mailbox. Every time you open a pearl box, you receive a 1-hour common sale tree buff that stacks and is separate from the cash shop tree buff. Make sure this buff is always on while you grind. Also, value packs increase your weight limit dramatically, so don't worry about weight limit. The main thing you want to focus on spending the pearls you get on is when you first start is pets. You want to aim for getting flying pets because sometimes walking pets clip to the floor and that can slow down their looting in comparison to flying pets. Also, flying pets grant you knowledge gain buffs, which will help you in the long run. The amount of pets you get depend on whether or not you have premium membership, because premium gives you the drop filter. The drop filter is heaven sent and will change the loot that mobs drop so that your pets don't have to loot every single thing that drops and can focus only on the good stuff. For example, let's say you're grinding at Crescent Shrine. If you didn't have drop filter on, every single mob you kill would drop trash, loot, and silver. This means that your pet has to loot every single mob in every single pack that you kill before you can move on to the next. Now when you use drop filter, you can remove money from drops by typing .money filter and then a dash, and you can remove trash loot by typing .drop filter 0. Now your pets only have to loot scrolls, armor and weapon stones, crescent rings, and soiled crescent rings, allowing you to kill mobs much faster without worrying about missing something. This is crucial for progression, and I cannot stress that enough. Whether or not you have premium membership, you still need pets, so make sure you buy a few and try to breed them to tier 3. Also, start getting inventory slots. Inventory slots are very useful on the server because loot drops so often, even with a drop filter, so your inventory will fill up quickly. You never have to worry about weight limit or weapon durability on this server. They are both non-factors. The biggest detriment to grinding endurance is inventory slots, so make sure you get a bunch. Also, make sure you buy some food from the marketplace when you get a chance so that you can start leveling your health. Every time you eat food, you will get a lot health level or a lot of health EXP, which will give you more HP and MP. Okay, so that's it for the tips. Let's start leveling. The way I leveled my character is I followed this path. After you reach level 50 at Catfish, you can stay there and grind to level 51 or 52, but I would recommend just going over to Helms. Helms should be fine until you are level 56. At 56, you want to do your Awakening quest as soon as possible because that will make grinding easier. Now that you have your awakening, you can either go back to soloing helms or you can find a group called an SD group. People do SD groups in various locations, but the most common are Helms, Sawsons, Schultz, and Nagas or Fogans. SD stands for special deals, which means that all the loot your party picks up will go to the special deals market. Once the item is sold, each party member receives a percentage of the sale. If the item in question doesn't sell on the special deals market before the next server maintenance, it will automatically be discarded by the server and the party will receive the money automatically. Some items on GameZ do not ever sell, like Seraph necklaces for example, so I do greatly advise you not to grind solo at places where items like those drop. Instead, do it in an SD group to guarantee these items net you profit. What's great about GameZ is that EXP and skill EXP are not diminished because you are in a group, so early game grouping up is one of the best things you can do. Finding a guild will help out a lot with that and also give you some buffs, so don't be afraid to try to make some friends. This is an MMO after all. So your main priority on your first character after getting your awakening should be to get to level 64. Level 64 will grant you 3 Kaposha accessories. These accessories will give you a major AP boost for the amount of time needed to get them. So first you want to get to 60 by just grinding. It should be easy to do this, especially if you can find groups to grind with. Once you are 60, head over to Sawson Garrison and talk to these otters. They will give you a quest called Combat Promotion. This is a quest chain that requires you to kill varieties of mobs around Media, and it gives a huge EXP boost when you finish. The last stage of the quest will ask you to turn in 10 armor and 10 weapon stones. When you get to this point, stop. You will complete this quest later. You now want to start your Kamasil quest line. It begins in Kalphion. Once you have completed that quest line, you will unlock the Valtara quest. The Valtara quest will require you to kill 3 stages of mobs before they destroy this pillar thing. You will most likely need a group to complete this, but it is definitely worth it. Once you complete Valtara, do not turn the quest in yet. Go back to the otters for the Combat Promotion quest. Combat Promotion gives more EXP the lower your level, so you want to turn this in first. Make sure you pop every single EXP buff you can. Your 200% and an EXP scroll, an EXP elixir, have an EXP costume on, find a bell channel or use a bell yourself, and if you have 50 energy, use the Black Spirit EXP boost. Once all your buffs are popped, turn in the Combat Promotion quest, then head over to Valtara and turn in the Valtara quest. This should get you to 64 or extremely close. If you are not 64, do some group grinding until you get there. Now that you have all the Kaposha accessories, your priorities should change. First thing you should be trying to do now is get boss weapons. I recommend actually going to the bosses if they are spawning, because you have a very high chance of getting your boss weapon from a straight up drop on this server. If you can't make it to all the bosses, make sure you put all of your weapons on notifications at the marketplace. They will be listed on the market eventually, so make sure you have silver on hand to buy them. Don't buy a try or a tet unless you have no choice. It's really not worth the money. Once you get your hands on some boss weapons, enhance them as best you can. I may or may not make an enchant guide for this server, but in the meantime you can watch my enhancement guide video in the description if you're completely new to enhancing. Keep in mind that durability is not important on this server. You can grind at 20 durability for hours, so don't be afraid to really blow those weapons to smithereens. Once you've gotten some decent AP, like 120-ish, you can either continue to group grind or you can start soloing. If you want to solo, go to Helm's Cave. You would get Scarlet necklaces, which you can burn into hard crystals, and Ancient Guardian seals, which you can burn into sharp crystals. You also get books, so you can get memory fragments as well as armor and weapon stones. You also get decent EXP and skill points. You basically get everything you need here. At this point, you should start saving your pearls up to buy a 90-day value pack. This will get you 10 item collection rolls, which will increase your item drop rate dramatically. Also, try to buy a common sale tree buff from the cash shop for an additional drop rate boost. Lastly, let's talk about life skilling and passive income. GameZ's primary life skill for active money is gathering. You can get a lot of stripes and hearts by gathering with the proper tools and pets, but the best passive income is horse training. To start horse training, try to grab a T7 female from the market that has breeds, get it to level 30 if it isn't already, and breed it with a T8 male on the breeding market. Do this until you have 2 level 1 horses, then buy a wagon from the stable manager, put the horses on the wagon and start an auto path loop so that you train the horses while you are AFK. When they reach level 30, breed the horses and reset their breeds, then breed them again and sell them via Imperial delivery. This is the best passive income in the game and only gets better as you get further into it, but we'll discuss that in the future. That's it for part 1 of the guide. Part 2 will cover how to progress through mid-game and more tips on making lots of income. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching. Peace.